come back. Welcome back to Defending Football. Thank you guys so much for watching. Today we are going to be talking about 5 quarterbacks that we want back in spring football. There is no particular order, so we are going to start off with a pretty obvious and recent one. Alex Magoo won 2 championships back-to-back with the Birmingham Stallions in the USFL. Obviously a fantastic player, but got signed to the NFL. He played more than 10 games, but they were sparing moments in games, so we're going to say 10 plus. His completion percentage was 64%, 2,565 yards. He threw for 23 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, and add on 534 rushing yards plus 8 rushing touchdowns, and he was sacked 24 times in spring football. Obviously, one of the better spring football quarterbacks we have seen, and the reason we want him back is because we want to see him go against the XFL teams, and we want to make him prove that he is the top dog. Obviously, he was top dog in the USFL, so can he do it in this joint league? Also, down below, let me know which one of these quarterbacks you would like to see most. Next up, we have Ben Denucci. This one was also pretty recent. Even though I am a Defenders fan, I have a really soft spot for Ben Denucci, especially when he was mic'd up. I think he was absolutely hilarious and an absolute maniac on the field. Brett Favre's style of passer, and he played 10 games, completing 64.7% of his passes, 2,671 yards, 20 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 305 rushing yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns, and sacked 11 times. Obviously, this guy throws a bunch of picks, but he has so many passing yards, it's crazy, and he has so much arm talent. I would love to see Ben Denucci back. The only thing is, I can't see him going to any team except the Dragons, so they need to come back so we can get Denucci back in there. I mean, something about seeing Denucci in these all orange jerseys is just absolutely awesome. Definitely one of my personal fan favorites to come back to the UFL. It might be possible, but he's on the Broncos roster right now. But we do want you back, Ben. We want you back. Number 3, we're going to go with Johnny Manzel. Yes, Johnny Football. Look, I know he's proven to not be a great quarterback, but for some reason, it is must-see TV every time Johnny is on the football field. I'm only going off the AAF stats. So he only played 2 games, 62.5% completion percentage, 61 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception, 38 rushing yards, and a sack. Obviously, horrible numbers, but Johnny hasn't really had a full showcase. And it's almost like we all hope that he can eventually live up to that potential, and that is the reason we want him in the UFL. Some might say it's gimmicky, but this is the league of opportunity, and would they be willing to give Johnny Football one more chance? Probably not, but if it was true, we're all watching, you know that. Number 4 might be a sleeper pick that you guys totally forgot about, but in XFL 2020, Josh Johnson was a fire quarterback to watch. He played 5 games, 60% completion percentage, 1,092 yards, 11 touchdowns to just 2 picks, 30 rushing yards, and 5 sacks. Now, he didn't get the start right away, I don't believe, in LA, which, by the way, the LA Wildcats jerseys are absolutely sick, and I really want that team back. I know the fan support just wasn't there, but they got to move them somewhere because the Wildcats are just a sick team. Little break in the episode, but I actually have a Josh Johnson jersey, and this thing is absolutely sick. Absolute sick jersey, so obviously you know I like my guy Josh. But he was electric to watch, and I remember him mic'd up with his offensive coordinator or head coach, I can't remember. I remember him mic'd up in one moment where he was complaining that there was no deep balls being called, and I remember the coach getting upset, and he basically said, "I'm giving it to you right now." He called the play, and Josh Johnson threw a deep touchdown pass, and he got hype. And ever since that moment, I was like, whoa, I rock with this guy. This guy called out what he wanted and then threw a bomb touchdown. I mean, that's sick. So Josh Johnson, obviously been on NFL rosters here and there. I think this guy is a solid quarterback. Don't know if we'll see him back because he's such a good player, but we can hope. And number 5, who else would it be, guys? PJ Walker, currently a free agent, I believe. Played 5 games in 2020, 64.7% completion percentage, 1,338 yards, 15 touchdowns to just 4 interceptions, 99 rushing yards, and add a touchdown to that, and he took 6 sacks. Stats do not do this guy justice because he absolutely exploded on the scene of the XFL, never lost a game, and is considered to be the best spring football quarterback of all time in the modern era. You know, Jim Kelly's pretty good. And I'll pop this poll right up. and most of you agree that PJ Walker is the best spring football quarterback of all time in the modern era. And this guy was absolutely electric, had one of the best throws in the NFL I've ever seen with Carolina, and he just has ridiculous talent. If this guy stepped on the field, he would dominate once again, no doubt in my mind. The funny thing is, Houston doesn't have a great quarterback situation, so could we see PJ possibly sneak in there? That would be nuts. Obviously, the nostalgia is talking, and who knows what the future holds for these players. Maybe they have just moved on and we will never see them in spring football again. But maybe, one day, we will see them again. So I'm going to get out of here. Let me know which one you would like to see in the UFL. And for the love of football, defend football, baby!